Okay, I think we believe we are live. So thank you everybody for a little patience here this evening while I set everything up. I do need to take a second because I got to turn off my sound, otherwise we'll get some feedback. Uh, so yeah, so welcome everybody to the March meeting of the Grand Strand Astronomers. As we were discussing before we got on the call or before we went live, for the weather conditions have been none too good. It was pretty lousy on the day that we were scheduled our Messier Marathon on March 9th. So unfortunately, we got to miss out on that. That's a little disappointing because I was really looking forward to giving that a try. Um, but unfortunately, yeah, the weather had other ideas. Hopefully, we'll do better in April. Speaking in April, the dark sky observing is April 6th. So assuming people aren't on the road to see the total eclipse, we'll have a dark sky session, weather permitting. So hopefully we'll get good conditions for that. Of course, we will have an eclipse on April 8th. And I don't know if if everybody's traveling for that or if anybody wants to try to do something like a public session for the 70% coverage that we're going to have here in this area. So,
Yeah, I was wondering about that. If anybody's going to do anything local, I'm staying here. I'm not. I've traveled too much lately. So, was there anything going on here?
well, I don't know of anything, but we could certainly try it because it looks like I might not be traveling either. So,
Oh no.
um, for a whole variety of reasons. So if anybody's interested in not traveling, right? Obviously, if you're going to travel, great, because see the eclipse, right? Um, if you're not traveling, we can consider, keying up something. It's on a Monday afternoon, so I'll put out an email to everybody see people are interested in doing that. So certainly we have that. Again in the April observing session, it'd be great to get a couple people out there because if the weather is clear, that this SCDNR people are bringing like 33 people down for that event.
How
So
many?
about
Did you
33
say
people.
33?
Yeah.
Wow.
So since that's who Hampton works for, it'd be great if we had at least a couple scopes there.
Yeah.
Um, so again, that's going to be April 6th. So assuming weather's good, right? I mean, obviously, if it's like it's been every time we try to schedule an observing session lately, then we'll not have it. But so yeah, kind of that's basically all the announcements I had. Uh, Before we get started talking about stuff, did anybody have anything else that they wanted to ask about or discuss? No?
Nope.
Okay. Well, so I kind of put something here together, and it's actually over a couple of presentations, so we'll have to you have to excuse me. Unfortunately, this week very much got away from me. So let's see if I can do what needs to be done here. Hold on. I don't know. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay. The creative name of Sky Stuff is what I was kind of want to talk about. Some of the things coming up, and some of the things you might want to try to look at. Assuming we get a few decent days in between now and the next observing session. Of course, I think everybody knows there's a penumbral lunar eclipse coming up, right? That's in a couple of days. I think March 25th, I believe. So in 4 days. Unfortunately, it's a penumbral eclipse. So I should actually kind of probably show a picture of that. Let's see. Again, putting something at the last minute. a penumbral eclipse is, and this is a pretty good one. So looks like this. So basically what happens is you got the Earth's umbra, which is the really dark shadow, and they get the penumbra, which is like all the light coming through the atmosphere and everything, so it's not that dark. Um, so uh, basically this one is going to just skirt the penumbra and never get into the umbra. And you can see it's 3 days, 5 hours, 39 minutes, right? And until the eclipse. So it's going to look something like this. And you kind of see if you look at the difference in the brightness, it's not much. And basically, it's going to end up being about 0.13 magnitude difference, which is not much. So it's not going to be very bright or very dark at all. What you probably will see is something that kind of looks like this. You probably see a little bit of it obscured, and the rest will look pretty much visually the same, unless you have some really sensitive cameras to pick up the brightness difference. So, again, this is pretty late at night if you want to try to see it. I think it peaks at 0.1133 magnitude difference, and which is again not very much. So that's probably about 0.25 is bright. Yeah. So 3:12 a.m. is when it's at maximum. So pretty early in the morning. It runs from about 1 to about 5:30. So of course the max view this is the max view right then. So again, you'll probably see, like, or maybe a little bit brighter batch right here. It may seem a little darker along this edge, but again, not by much. So if you really just decide you want to get up and see it, excellent. But it won't be like the total lunar eclipses that we've had the last couple. We've got that deep dark red color. So what can I say? Hopefully if anybody does get any pictures, I'd like to see them. Of course, there's also a chance if you want to catch Mercury, you have a lower western horizon, you can try to do that. So it's pretty easy to, excuse me, it's easy to find because it's below Jupiter, near the horizon. You can kind of like draw a bit of a line, maybe a 45-degree line down from Jupiter, looking west, and that's where Mercury should be. It's pretty interesting. Mercury's not that hard to pick, even naked eye. It turns out once you see it, it's kind of bright pink. So it's pretty obvious to see once you know where to look. So if you've never seen it, it's just kind of fun to look at Mercury. Obviously, you don't need a telescope because there's no details you can make out on Mercury, no surface details. But again, you can see it very easily naked eye or like with a pair of binoculars. So if you've never seen that, and it is after sunset, not in the morning, so you don't have to get up early. So you can try to catch Mercury. The other thing that's pretty exciting out there is the comet, 12P Pons Brooks. I've seen all kinds of different names. There's like Devil's Comet and everything. It's a short period of comet with a period of about 71 years, and right now it's getting closer and brighter. It's projected to be fairly bright, one of the brighter comets we've had in a number of years. Let's see. Right now, I don't know if the magnitude's on here. We can look that up in a second. This is for London, but it gives you the idea because the finder won't change, right? Depending on where you are. But you can see right now it was fairly close to Andromeda. And several people got pictures of that. So it's right here in that area. So by Andromeda. So headed into Pisces. So it's pretty close to Mercury. So what that means is since Mercury's pretty low on the western horizon, this is going to be pretty much almost due west, and it will be pretty low. But some people have been getting some really good shots of Pons Brooks. So if you do have a western horizon and you do have a good decent night, you want to try to get a shot of that, you can. I was trying to see if there's a good picture recently of it. And let's see who took this one. Well, this is an excellent picture of it, but it's actually a really good one. And the thing is, because it's fairly bright, don't really think you need to pick up. It's not like you really need super big telescope or anything, or a super great camera to capture it, right? So if you want, you can try to get out there and capture it, right? So again, it's right by the little Pisces, little fish head here. Fairly close to M31, just below M31. So if you're trying to sky hop to it, it's pretty easy. Again, it is pretty bright. I'm not sure what the comet brightness is right now.
It says 5.81 on the left right here. Magnitude 5.81.
Okay, yeah. So that's not bad. Not bad at all. So it means you're dark enough um, that you should be able to see it with the naked eye, or at least make out a little bit with the naked eye. So um, it's a little hard, but you can do that. Um, so, hopefully this will get very bright. And there's going to be a couple other bright comets this year as well, right? Um, it will be basically kind of skirting twilight, unfortunately. But at the same time, it could actually turn into something really nice. Um, so it looks like this year we're going to have several good comets, right? Um, so we've got, uh, uh, you know, we've got a one that's coming up in March, which is one of the Pan-STARRS comets. And then we've got, of course, this Pons Brooks. And then there's one that will come through in early autumn, early fall, that was discovered just last year. And that has the potential to become, it's one of the Atlas comets, because potentially become a naked eye comet, a nice naked eye comet. So hopefully that will happen. We haven't had a really good one of those in a while. So we need a really good one. So there's some potential comets coming up, which would be kind of nice. But right now you can kind of try to catch Pons Brooks, and also, of course, you probably have seen all the news. It's all over the news about there's a bright nova right now that's popped up. It's actually pretty easy to find. If you look at this, again to the northwest, if you look at Cassiopeia, and if you kind of trace it between that and the bottom of Cepheus, not exactly a straight line, but close, about halfway between, that's where the nova is. This is actually a picture of the nova. You can see here's M52, so you can actually get M52 and drop down, right? The bubble nebula over there, kind of near the bubble. And you see the two bright stars that it's sort of between, right? Not 100% in between, but and you see it's actually pretty bright. So this is one of the brighter novas we've had in a while. So that means it's probably not too far away. And so it will fade, but it's kind of nice that if you want to get a chance and try to see it, you can try to see it. And you can see it is pretty significantly bright out there. So if you see an extra star, that's what you're looking at. I don't know. Is everybody familiar with what a nova is? Rod, you probably are. So that's the basic stuff that I had tonight. I kind of want to just pull up some of the stuff that's coming up in the sky, and kind of see, talk a little bit about, some of the things that are out there right now. Of course, again, I didn't mention the eclipse, which of course the solar eclipse, which is the big event on April 8th. Again, if you're going to be here, it's 70%, about 70% covered. So that's pretty good. Of course, if you're in the totality, you get an even better show. Provided you can get around. I know there's a lot of, they're expecting a huge number of people in the path of totality. So several states are calling out the National Guard and declaring states of emergency already. So telling residents to stay home. So if you're going somewhere, please be safe, and probably leave some time to get there, get wherever you're going.
The front of our hotel is supposed to be 2.5 minutes, so we might just stay there.
Oh, yeah? Where are you going?
Just outside San Antonio.
Oh, okay. That has pretty good chance of good, decent weather. So
Yeah, that's what we're hoping.
that would be nice. Yeah. Hopefully you'll get a good shot at it. Yeah. Fortunately, I watched the last one, 2017, from my driveway because I was in the path of totality. So I didn't have to go far at all. I didn't have to fight any of the crowds. So that was lucky for me. So that's great. So yeah, you can always stay in your hotel if it gets too crazy. So
Yeah. Just park the car and walk outside.
yep. So yeah. So yeah, stock up, make sure you have a restaurant nearby, right? So you might need that because apparently it's they think traffic's going to be a mess. At least it was for us down here. Traffic was a horrible mess. Everywhere you went. So after the eclipse, it just basically completely bogged down. So
Yeah,
completely bogged down.
we live off 707, and I went down to the Founders Golf Course to watch it
Mm-hmm.
in 2017. It took me an hour to get home, and it was only like
Oh,
what 10 or 15 miles.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, we tried to go somewhere that evening, about 5 or 6, and traffic was completely gridlocked around us. Couldn't get out of the neighborhood, so we just turned around and came back. So it was, yeah, I expect it's going to be kind of crazy. So hopefully everybody gets to see something, right? Hopefully the weather doesn't go south. Um, Unfortunately, it's one of the worst times of year for weather, but you can't really control that, right? It's like the eclipse happens when it happens. So and there's a huge population base. It's passing through a huge population base. So I don't know. We will have to we'll have to see what happens. I certainly hope you get to see it, Rod. You gonna take some pictures?
I'm really not going to try that. I'm gonna try to take a wide field during totality to see if I can get a wide view of the comet and a couple planets and stuff. I've got an app from a camera that'll let me take it takes like 40 pictures and stacks them and I want to try to get a wide field because I figure
Okay.
there'd be a lot of pictures of the eclipse itself that I could poach, but I wanted to try to get one, with the planets and stuff
That would be
in
cool.
the
Yeah.
background. But other than that, I'm just going to try to enjoy it because I remember the last one, everybody that was around started to applaud and all of that, and it was utterly fantastic. So I want to make sure my wife sees this one.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah. So it's very cool. You just got to remember not to look at the diamond ring.
Yeah.
You hurt your eyes.
Yeah.
But it's hard to look away.
Yeah.
It's very hard to look away. I've never seen a picture that does it justice. And it's like, wow, it's fantastic. But like, yeah, it's pretty bad. So if you stare at it, it was like I said, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, hope it works out. Yeah, it looks like I'll probably be here. So I'll see if we can arrange something. Maybe some of the public wants to go see it or something. We'll see. People that don't travel. Hopefully there's good prominence or something.
There were some good ones the last couple of days, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. I haven't had a chance to get out. So yeah, you've seen some good ones.
Mhm. Yeah, some loops and some just go up and out, and big.
So that means if the sun's really active, if it stays really active through the eclipse, means you'll see streamers in the corona. There weren't a lot of streamers last time because the sun was pretty inactive. So, but with the activity, you should see a lot more streamers.
Yeah.
So,
Fingers crossed.
yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully, it works out well for you. A friend of mine had was telling me he picked up a Sea Star, one of the Sea Star S50s. I don't know if everybody's familiar with what that is. The little automatic telescopes from ZWO. Yeah, they've like a little 50 millimeter and they have a camera built in and everything. You control them via Wi-Fi. And he says he uses it quite a bit. He was surprised how much he uses it. Not only can you pack it up easily on an airplane, but he was saying that you can just plop it out in the driveway. It'll align itself. He's grabbing the Pleiades.
Hmm.
Did you get that star, Ken? You're on mute.
Yeah, I was just closing the blinds behind me.
It looked like you
Yeah.
just reached up. It didn't blink you out. It looked like you reached up and you grabbed one of the stars. And like we're changing the bulb on one of your stars. This is pretty cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so
Mentioned-
he's using the Sea Star S50, and he said, yeah, he uses it quite a bit on just nights when, he can just take it out there real quick, plunk it in the driveway.
The astronomy club that I belong to up north, the Tri-State Astronomers in Hagerstown, Maryland, quite a few of the people post pictures from the Sea Star, and it's unbelievable because they'll take a series of exposures for an hour or so, and it rivals, a lot of other pictures, and you get some good detail once it's processed.
And it's very easy, automatic to use, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so it's he was saying how much he really enjoys it. Excuse me. Even though he's got a full setup and he's pretty accomplished at all that, but he said even though that, he says a lot of nights when he doesn't have a lot of time, he'll just set that out there and dial it in and go. So I
Yeah.
just didn't know if anybody had any experience with using it.
Let me see if I can find any pictures that they took.
Okay.
But they keep track of, they're very active with their outreach, and they got hold of one somewhere, an extra one, and they're gonna give it as a raffle in September to the people who've done at least 5 hours of outreach
Oh, that would be cool.
in their club.
We don't have the budget for that.
Well, it was a donation.
Yeah, so there are a bunch of people that have been taking pictures.
I'm trying to get it to come up. For some reason, it's real slow today.
My internet's always slow. We could try doing this. Let's see.
That's M106.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And
There's
that's
some
what
pictures on cloudy nights. And those are not bad. You get some good ones like that. Some of the moon pictures are really spectacular.
yeah.
So
And there's the Andromeda. I mean, Orion.
so let's see what he was saying. The moon, the veil was 45 minutes of stacking, and the ring was a very short one. So this is 45 minutes of stacking, and for a 50 millimeter scope, that's not bad. You're not picking up very much light, 50 millimeters, right?
No,
And then look at the ring. M27, the Wizard Nebula, and that's pretty good also.
and they're reasonable too. They're under. I think they're under $500.
Yes, they are. So there's 60 minutes of the Western Veil. Now that's good. A little too green. I would have changed the color balance a little bit, but you know, you're seeing a lot of detail in there, right?
Yeah.
Again, for a 50 millimeter scope, right? You're not picking up that much light.
And I think that the program that comes with it, it takes the stack of photos you take and it actually eliminates the ones that aren't good. So it
Yeah,
automatically filters out the bad ones.
yeah, it actually does a quality inspector, it does quality inspection. And this is 1396, and that's good because you're picking up, you see a lot of dust, the brown, the dust, and everything. So that's actually pretty good. This one's not labeled. Yep. Looks like Trifid right there. There's Orion. Orion's tough because you tend to blow out the center. Now look at that Orion. That one looks pretty nice. That's nice too. See, some of these are very good. Again, the beauty is these are simple to capture. That's a beautiful horse head. It's kind of funny because years ago, many years ago, I had a friend who started in astrophotography, and his goal was to capture a good horse head image. He worked on that for a very long time. And now you can plunk one of these things out in your driveway, tell it to align itself, tell it to start taking pictures, right? So it's amazing how far the technology comes. I like how sharp it is. It does a really nice job. A lot of people are posting really good pictures. That's nice. And if you look at this one carefully, you can kind of start seeing the blues come out, like the titanium. If you amped up the color saturation a little bit, I think that would come out a little bit more. Or maybe it's just my monitor's not calibrated. I have a new monitor and I haven't calibrated it yet. But it's really very impressive. And again, it's very, excuse me, it's very, very easy to use. And again, the person I got the recommendation from, he's actually very good. You know, and he's a pretty exacting person. So if you really liked it, that kind of impressed me. So again, it gives you some data to play with, picture wise. You know, when you're just shooting from your driveway. That's pretty nice. Probably amp up the colors a little bit, but it's nice. I don't think there's an H alpha filter for it though. But probably wouldn't do very well with H alpha anyway.
Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, if you're watching the video or whatever, my internet's blazingly fast tonight as well. This is what it looks like. If it looks small, it's because it is. Very easy to pack away on, you know, do carry-on luggage. Let's see if there's a good viewpoint of good size. Nope. So probably. And again, you just control it with your phone. It does have some filters built in. It's got a white light solar filter that comes with it. I see it only weighs 2.5 kilograms, which for those of you that are metrically challenged is probably about between 5 and 6 pounds. And, you know, it's actually, you could see it, yeah, next to a smartphone here, right? So you get an idea of the size. It's not very big at all. Very easy to like carry on or just carry around, right? And it is apochromatic, 50 millimeter. It does have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so you can control it from your smartphone or a tablet. The batteries will last like 6 hours. And it does have a built-in dark filter, so you can take dark frames. And again, it's all automatic. So, you know, basically it does automatic find and track the targets. So it keeps track of that. And it supposedly does a really good job of that. So you can put it on any decent sized tripod, or it's got a little short one that comes with it. Oh, and here are the dimensions, right? You know, you can see that, you know, the height is only like 257 millimeters, right? So that's really only like, you know, 25 centimeters. So that's not much, right? Divide by 2.5. So you'd say about 10 inches, right? So that's the longest dimension. So it's actually pretty small. It has a really short tripod in there, but if you have any other standard tripod that mounts like a 3/8 inch one, you can do that. And again, the batteries last for about 6 hours. So it has scenery mode too, so you can use it as well if you don't just like that if you don't like just doing astronomy, you can do it out there. So it's actually pretty cool. It's interesting. Again, like I said, I wouldn't have originally didn't pay much attention to it till I had a friend who started messing with it and was talking to me about it. So it's very handy if you go to a dark sky site, because sometimes I'm at a dark sky site, I don't have any equipment, right? So it'd be nice to just kind of pack something like this away, and then you just take a bunch of pictures. So cool. So did anybody have anything else tonight that they wanted before we kill the live stream?
No, thanks for sharing that about that telescope. I was wondering about those. I've seen them advertised, but you're thinking there's 50 millimeters. Yeah, why bother? So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought. I just didn't pay much attention to it until I ran across this friend of mine. Um, and he said he uses it all the time. It's very convenient. It's easy for travel. Um, you know, you can carry it when you're not carrying a bunch of other equipment. And he said it does a really fantastic job. I think the Celestron Origin is the same idea, except it's a larger piece of equipment and considerably more spendy.
yeah,
A
Now,
lot
I
more.
think it does similar capability. It probably does a nice job, but again, you're talking like 3 or 4 grand, right? As opposed to under $500, right? So, actually, so let me thank everybody that's joined on the live that was on the live stream or was watching this after the fact, and we'll see everybody next month. Everybody can stay on, but I'm going to go ahead and stop the live stream.